Hi, in this video today, I can't wait to share a success story with you about a myopia reduction case. Now, there are other things going on with this patient, but that's what we're going to be highlighting tonight. Now, before I go into that, let's tell you how you can connect with us. If you're local, call us at 618-288-1489. If you're not local, that's okay. We can still help. Go to our website at visionforlifeworks.com. You can either read some of our success stories there, read other information, or if you're ready for that next step, then click on the Schedule a Consultation button. Okay, now let's talk about our success story at hand. So this one's pretty exciting because she started off as a minus 7.75, and that was in both eyes. And she was comfortable. She was seeing 20/20. However, she was interested while we were working on some of her other issues like convergence insufficiency, or she had trouble crossing her eyes, and it gave her kind of some headaches and strange tension feeling in her head. While at the same time, she was like, well, if we're doing that, yeah, if we can reduce the lens prescription, let's do that too. Okay, so we've been working with her through phase 1. Now we're into phase 2. Approximately 60% or so of the way through phase 2, maybe even about 70% by now. And I did a follow-up with her just recently, and let me tell you where she's at now. So again, we started at minus 7.75. Now she's comfortably wearing a minus 6.50 for her everyday wear, but I also found out that minus 5.75, she was still seeing 20/25 with. So now she's going to start wearing the, if you can remember all these numbers, right? It's a little confusing. 650s for her everyday wear. That's down from 775. She's now going to go into trainers at 575. She was seeing 20/25 in that and felt pretty comfortable. But we're going to allow that to be a trainer for just a little bit of time because our next goal beyond that is to take her down to a minus 5. So from a 775 down to a 5, that's a pretty big, huge jump. And we've already got her pretty comfortable with wearing that, with being down into that 575 range. But if I go a little too far too fast, sometimes patients aren't quite as comfortable with that. So our next goal in the next 2 to 3 months is get her down into a minus 5. Now you might be asking, well, how did you manage to do that? Well, so in our program, it again is split into 2 phases because she's been through phase 1 already, which is mainly using syntonics. But when I say that, a lot of times it makes people think like, oh yeah, I remember hearing Dr. So-and-so down the street uses syntonics. Well, let me tell you the difference between the syntonics that we're doing and a lot of other doctors. Primarily, many other doctors, not all, but many other doctors, probably about 85 to 95% of them, are using just a few handfuls of filters. So they may prescribe red or green or even a blue. In fact, I heard a story just today, and we had 2 from the other week, last week, about a doctor who kept the patient in red followed by green for over a year and a half. In fact, this is something I hear almost weekly, bi-weekly, and that patient was struggling with a lot of problems. They had not progressed with their vision, and in fact, in some cases, it causes them to have a lot of visual disturbances. So it turns on their neurological system incorrect. So when I say I'm using syntonics, it's really a specific protocol that I developed specifically, I just used that word twice, in order to reduce lens prescriptions. So this is a highly specific, here it is again, syntonics protocol developed by me that is neurologically triggering the brain in order to make vision processing more efficient and for the person to be able to reduce their lens prescription. It's not just go wear a red pair of glasses and then follow it up with green, or maybe wear blue and then red for like a year and see what happens. That's not what we're talking about. This is a very specific neuro-based syntonics or light therapy type of a program. Now, let's talk about some of the other things that she's mentioned, because in addition to her lens prescription reducing, what we've also seen for her is that she marked on the little sheet, she has less frustration, greater feelings of comfort, more awareness of surroundings, greater awareness of depth perception, feeling more relaxed, reading speed is increased, more coordinated, less awkward and clumsy, Balance has improved. She makes better use of her time and completes tasks easier. Driving skills has improved, and that was a big one. She struggled with driving when she was having all of her visual complaints popping up. She's trying new things, feeling more confident. Friendships have opened up. She tends to withdraw less often. She is happier in general and also feels more in control of her life. Now, that's great. Let's go one step further. So if you've ever seen these, sometimes they're called checklists or 30-point predictive checklists that determine whether or not a person is having some visual difficulty based on all the things that they check off. Well, at the end of that, like you're marking, is it significant to say, I'm only like mildly affected by it, I'm moderately affected by it, and there's numbers attached to each of those questions. So at the end, you can tally it up and you can get a score. And if the score is, say, over 20 or 25, then it's highly recommended that you need help for your vision. Because under that, you might be like, good job, you're doing great, you don't really need a whole lot of help. So let's just look at what her score was. This was back in September of last year, prior to her starting her therapy program with us. Her total score was 47. Now, what would you think that score might be today? Okay, well, it wasn't today, but it was actually just a couple days ago on October 30th. And her score was 7. So from a 47, lots of symptoms, lots of visual problems, all the way down to 7, hardly bothering her at all anymore. That's why she feels like she's so much better in charge and more confident and in control of her vision as well as just everyday life. So it's today, sort of, about a lens power reduction. It's also about all of these other improvements that help our everyday life and make things just easier and more fluid, helping us to be more confident and enjoying our life a little bit more. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, maybe it's for you, maybe it's for a loved one like your child, then you need to just reach out to us. You can go to our website if you're not local, and that is going to be visionforlifeworks.com. If you're ready for that next step, schedule a consultation. But if you are local, give us a call, 618-288-1489. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the like button on the video, pass it on to someone else, and if you haven't also done this, subscribe. Thank you.